Welcome to the bold analysis. I want to start this by saying a big congratulations, hearty congratulations to Kanini Kega. Yeah, he was one of the nominees that I was honestly vouching for to get that EALA position. I know for the last few days, the focus has been on Winnie Odinga. I don't think there was something really to doubt, because in terms of competency, I think Winnie was going to get it. But on Kanini Kega, I really vouched for him. And of course, I even tried to reach out to some of a few friends who were saying, "Oh, we are praying for Kanini Kega to get it." And of course, it's amazing. The question that everyone is asking is this: why did Ruto's deep state lose in that EALA election? Why did Fred Muteti lose in that election? I want to look at that. Stephen Mutore is saying, still wondering why Fred Muteti, sponsored by the majority government of Kenya side, lost on EALA. Could it be a sign Kalonzo Musyoka is headed to a coalition with KK? Most baffling. KK members overwhelmingly voted for Kalonzo, so the opposition evaded the KK trap to disorganize ALO. I want to just point out what exactly happened from yesterday. You will understand the behind the boardroom politics that was played, and why on this EALA, one thing I've always vouched for, called Mount Kenya consciousness, prevailed, and why it prevailed. Yesterday, when Azimio La Umoja had settled on, I think then they did boardroom, and they settled on Winnie Odinga, Kennedy, Kalonzo, Shaban, and I think there was also Fatma Gedi, yes, and Kanini Kega and the rest. But then on the side of Kenya Kwanza, they did a mock election in State House. And those who were picked, that were fronted at the PG, were Hassan Omar, Zipporah Kering, that's the photo we're seeing there, David Sankok, Ole Sankok, Frederick Muteti, and Faldaha Deko Iman. I realized that Frederick Muteti was even former Secretary General of UDA. Someone can help me confirm that fact. I'm not yet sure about it, but of course I understand that as not UDA, of URP, former SG of URP. Then today, elections were done. In the Senate, it all went well, but in the National Assembly, Fred Muteti lost. I'm going to explain how he lost. So let's look at the results of that vote. Sankok got 200 and Omar Hassan 251. Kering, Zipporah Kering was number 222. Sankok 217. Then there was Maina 208. Then Muteti came distance fourth. Muteti come fifth with 189, but Faldaha got 181. So Faldaha, Muteti became number 5, but Faldaha was replaced Muteti because of the numbers. But all in all, people are wondering how Maina got to 208, but yesterday he was not there. So what happened between State House meeting yesterday to today at the elections of the National Assembly is what I want to unravel and explain in details. So apparently, it has been established that Rift Valley MPs ganged up on Wednesday secret ballot to deny their Mount Kenya counterparts EALA slots, and they ganged up with the Western Kenya wing in Kenya Kwanza to make sure that there was no Mount Kenya leader who was going to get the EALA position. Now, this happened. As this was going on, Raila Odinga was also struggling on how he can push Kanini Kega to get the EALA slot amidst that strong competition. And let me tell you what happened. So, section of MPs from Rift Valley schemed on Tuesday night and lobbied for their counterparts in the western Ukambani coast to deny Mount Kenya any slot. It is the same environment, because it is the same day that the report of removing Kimani Chungwa also was floated, that some MPs were uncomfortable with Kimani Chungwa. And if you want to know that President Ruto, I think they knew, they preempted that things might not go well at the National Assembly. Moses Wetangula was not in the National Assembly today. And so the person who presided over was, I think, Nyamai and the Deputy Speaker. So that it represented from the office of the Speaker. But in that vote, one man won, both from Senate and the National Assembly, Kennedy Kalonzo, the son of Kalonzo Musyoka. So I want to see what happened. You know, where do you think Rift Valley, the Rift MPs were trying to sabotage, or rather to make sure that no Mount Kenya person gets EALA slot? It was plainly. Number one, they are uncomfortable by the percentage that maybe Mount Kenya has been given in Ruto's government. That could be that they're feeling like, oh, Mount Kenya have been given enough. I analyzed to you that, guys, people like Oscar Sudi, Caleb Kositany, and the fellas who are so much strong and were very visible in the campaign trail are no longer talking, and they've gone quiet. The Johanna Ngenos, they've gone quiet. So probably there was this cocoon that was formed since they didn't want Mount Kenya to get any position because of what so far they've been given in government. I was just thinking about it that way. Now, what I've also personally gathered is that Raila Odinga yesterday night with the Azimio team reached out to a section of Mount Kenya and hatched a deal so that they would support Kanini Kega. And this was because Fardaha was already representing the North in UDA, so Fatuma Gate is also coming from the North, it was easy for Azimio to front Kanini Kega. And remember, there was that competition. So either Fatuma Gedi or Fardaha, one was heading, but of course representing the North. So Raila reached out to them so that they will support the Azimio candidates, but ODM would also support Maina, who was there. And that's how the essential Kenya consciousness worked. I've been trying to do just informal talks on what might have played out. Number two, Kalonzo Musyoka also has the deal on behalf of the Sun so that the Wiper MPs will support that Maina and Kanini Kega. Now, Kanini Kega and Maina were the two. Mount Kenya are the two, from out of 7, Mount Kenya have 2. Kanini Kega and Maina. So they were not going to miss out the slot, even though there is also a probability that William Ruto might have realized that whatever had happened out from that mock democracy could have not sat comfortable with some elements. And so he decided to go behind the scene and then lobby, which can also be a probability. I don't get it how election was done in the State House and someone was picked by a popular vote, then his deep state settled on him, then when it goes to the National Assembly, they are shortchanged or it doesn't go through. Because the same people that voted in the Kenya Kwanza PG are the same people that voted in the National Assembly. So how he came to lose could be that he also negotiated that let's pick Maina so that he could solve the Mount Kenya equation, at least have Mount Kenya. Having realized that Raila was already lobbying for Kanini Kega. So this is it. Rift Gamer leaders is having a Cold War. There is a Cold War building, and we should not be told it's a narrative. This is something that we're seeing. That Rift Valley and Gema could be hatching, there could be underlying issues, and the synergy, the things will fall apart, or things are falling apart. There is no any other reason. The reason is there is a perception that Gema has taken more than what they can chew, or they have taken over. So that is what you can also see, and that is why Rift Valley and the others, they tried to do their own calculations to lock out Mount Kenya. But Mount Kenya could have regrouped last night, and through the influence on Raila's side to lobby for Kanini Kega, it worked out. And some people are wondering why Nani did not get it. Now, Azimio likely to tilt the wave in Mount Kenya. Or let me put it this way. The Mount Kenya wave, or let me not talk about Mount, let me talk about Mount Kenya consciousness will likely come back. What Mount Kenya needed was not the fact that, they were lied to. That's the truth. And not everyone. The young people were lied to. That Uhuru Kenyatta was the problem, things are not fine, and things are not working because for President Uhuru Kenyatta. And I like putting it as straight as it is. It was a lie. That lie is what William Ruto banked on to get the presidency. So, in the fullness of time, I think that lie will be undone. The consciousness is sinking because of this Cold War. Ruto's control of government, of parliament, is overrated. I think someone should not lie to that Ruto has controlled parliament. No, that control is overrated. If he controls parliament, he has the authority as we've always been told, then he would have bulldozed his candidate. Muteti was his personal, because Muteti worked under URP and was a Secretary General of URP, and he didn't come to that list by coincidence. When the cluster was done, his name did not appear there by coincidence. So if the president could just want, because again at this moment he doesn't want to show signs of him losing anything, they would have just got it right. But on this one, something happened. I'm wondering where is Jaguar and Keto Ruguru, because they were supposed to be part of this, but maybe it's a matter of team. Wait and see. Mount Kenya and Kalonzo deal for Kennedy. What are your thoughts, guys? Because that deal also was hatched somewhere. Do you see, is it a Mount Kenya Kalonzo deal, or William Ruto hatched a deal with Kalonzo for the sake of the son? Could Wiper be on a collision with KK, as Stephen Mutoro is saying? Because in what I have seen here, the only people that, for Winnie Odinga, someone would ask, was there a collision between that? No, for Winnie Odinga, there is no one in that parliament who cannot receive Raila Odinga's phone call. So that is just a Raila calling, even individually, even without calling all, just getting the majority leader, Kimani Chunga, tell Kimani Chunga it's this and that, and it's done. In fact, when I saw people concentrating on it, I was like, no, that's not it. That's not what it is. For Winnie, it was a done deal. But then these others is where there was the real attraction. Winnie and Kennedy, no. But on Maina and Kanini Kega, how Kanini, and I think Raila got it right. When he realized that there were those forces that were marching against Mount Kenya, he went and then lobbied for Kanini Kega, and also entered a deal with the Mount Kenya team to make sure that Maina passes. Because for the 208, for him to get 208, he got both votes from both sides. I don't know, guys, what you think, even though we understand that some others also abstained, including Dede Nyoro. There are those reports. So that's my bold. Let's meet in the next. I don't know what you think. Kindly subscribe to our channel.